Hi everybody, I thought I'd put out a video. I put out several posts over the last day and a half, mainly yesterday, but I think this is of significance, and I think I may have, and the keyword is may have, discovered the second sign, which is the great fiery red dragon having 7 heads, and his tail drew a third of the stars of heaven and threw them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman who was ready to give birth to devour her child as soon as it was born. So we know that the Revelation 12 verses 1 through 2 sign occurred on September 23rd through 24th of 2017, but I haven't seen, I've seen a few people who've tried to find the Revelation 12 second sign that appeared in heaven, verses 3 and 4. So excuse my dog, I had to put her outside. So we know the male child in the heavens from the Revelation 12 verses 1 and 2 sign was the planet Jupiter, the king planet, but 1/3 of the stars of heaven, there's only one constellation in the heavens that takes up 1/3 of the sky, and that is the constellation of Hydra, which actually is the 7-headed serpent. So here's one pic of the mythological creature, the 7-headed serpent, and then in Thai culture, you also have the 7-headed serpent Hydra, which is shown here. So yesterday in Stellarium, I was just trying to see at what time from Jerusalem the full moon would occur. And so there's the Jupiter, the man-child, and the full moon on January 3rd. And this was at 6:03, and then all of a sudden I noticed, and I'm gonna speed this up a little bit, that the appearance of, let me do it up a little bit, so a little bit after 6:04, you'll have to wait for it, but it's just, here appears the Dragon Crew 11 satellite out of nowhere in Gemini. Let me go back a little bit to show you. So the time is like 6:04 and 25 seconds. And then at 6:04:31, it just appears out of nowhere. And so if you track this a little bit, here's the constellation of Hydra, which takes up 1/3 of the sky. So, and then these stars represent the 7 heads of the serpent Hydra. And soon as you get to 6:06 and 6 seconds, so 666, this Dragon Crew satellite is adjacent to the serpent's head. And if you track the Dragon Crew 11 satellite, like almost directly as the crow flies, excuse me. Not directly tracing it, but you'll notice that, and this is a large constellation which takes up 1/3 of the sky. You'll notice that it's pretty much doing a straight line parallel to the constellation of Hydra. So if you speed it up a little bit more, so after about 4 straight minutes, then it starts deviating from the serpent. And so that's almost a 4 minute, a little over a 4 minute trek that the Dragon Crew 11 follows this whole thing. So let me go back and show you the whole thing. I just wanted to explain it firstly. Now we're going to go backwards. So I'm going to start off again in Gemini. So there's Jupiter, the man-child, and the moon. So let me go back. And it disappears. And then after starting about 6:04:31, this satellite goes from not being visible to being visible in the constellation of Gemini right next to the man-child Jupiter. So the dragon stands before, and again, if you follow the direction of it, so at about, again, 6:06:06, it's right next to the serpent's head, and then it continues its trek almost kind of parallel along. These stars, of course, are going, but if you kind of just trace it parallel somewhat, it goes along the length of the serpent and ends up pretty much adjacent to Beta Hydra, and then it leaves about 4 minutes later.